world! Today we're going to talk about something that used to be awesome and unfortunately isn't awesome anymore. And that's the Silent Hill series. Now, before you get all upset and are like, well, no, Arachne Queen, I love the Silent Hill series. Yeah, but up to what point? I love the Silent Hill series too. I hate what's been done with it. Let's talk about the ones that were good first. Now, Silent Hill 1, that's pushing it, because it was a glitchy festival of just frustrating controls, and it was something that the world hadn't seen before, but it wasn't executed quite perfectly. So let's look at Silent Hill 2, in which it was executed very well. And we find James Sunderland looking for his dead wife, but he's not sure if she's dead, and it was really weird. It got you immersed in the character himself and understanding who he was and what he was doing, and progressively revealing more and more of the story, which is what made it interesting. And I mean, yes, it had the frustrating camera angles and crappy combat, but it's survival horror. It's supposed to have crappy combat. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be scary. And of course, the big reveal at the end is that James killed his wife. She was sick, dying, looked really, really ugly, no longer had any semblance to his beautiful wife, Mary, and totally killed her. Totally killed her. It's like, whoa, brutal, James is insane, he killed his wife. And that is what makes Silent Hill good. Things like that. Those sort of reveals that you're like, what? And you don't know what time frame it really happened in. Was it 3 years? Was it 3 days ago? Was it 3 hours ago? Is she in his car trunk still? What happened? Another one that I really love, but unfortunately was met with a lot of negative criticism, is Silent Hill 4, The Room. And that was the last one made by actual Konami that was good in the series. Now, Silent Hill 4, I really like because you're trapped in someone else's hell. Like, Silent Hill is supposed to be a representation of the protagonist's hell. That's why there's monsters, that's why there's weird things happening. But Henry, the protagonist of Silent Hill 4, he didn't do anything wrong. He just gets trapped up in someone else's hell, and he's a victim, really. And he tries to fight his way out and find a way to, solve things. Is he kind of an emotionless weirdo? Yeah. Henry totally is an emotionless weirdo, and that's why I love him. He's a terrible protagonist. And I just love the storyline of it. I love how it advances. I love freaking everything about that game. It's like my favorite Silent Hill game, and haters gonna hate. But in my opinion, there were way worse games. Let's talk about the newer Silent Hill games. Silent Hill 5, Homecoming. Did not do well on the console jump. The console switchover did not treat it well. Also, the surprise in that game, or the shocking twist in the story, came about as shockingly as the sun rising in the morning. I mean, they couldn't have given it away more. There was no building up to it, there was no hints toward it or anything like that. Like, there kind of was, but not the way it normally would have been. And also, word of advice for all you Silent Hill developers out there that are for some reason watching my videos, stop it with the sexy nurses, okay? Those were in Silent Hill 2 and 2 alone to represent James and his frustration towards his wife's sickness. They have no reason other than American gratuity to be in that game at all, in any other Silent Hill game, okay? So please, stop it with the sexy nurses with the bandages over their faces. It's not scary, and it has no semblance of significance in these current Silent Hill games, so stop it. Design something original with your monsters, and leave the sexy nurses out of it. One thing I will give Silent Hill Homecoming, though, dude, those bosses, those were some of the best designed bosses I've ever seen, like ever. Like Scarlet, that was brutal. And Asphyxia and all those other bosses, dude, those were brutal. Especially what they represented, that was pretty freaky, and those were really well designed bosses. I will give them that. And that is all I will give you. Ever. Let's talk about Silent Hill Origins. It was released on the PSP, and personally, I don't think that any type of survival horror game should be reduced to a screen that's like that big. That kind of just kills it for me, so I was glad when I heard that they did do a PS2 release. However, that game no matter how big of a screen you put it on, its plot was basically just a soap opera with more murder, which isn't saying much. So I was just completely unimpressed. It was short, which is understandable because it is for the PSP. But there was like no resolution, there was no anything. And also, Travis Grady totally makes a cameo in Silent Hill Homecoming. If you didn't catch it, then what the heck is wrong with you? He's like right there in the beginning. Totally Travis. He's driving a semi-truck. Who else would it be? Silent Hill Shattered Memories. That one was a reimagining of Silent Hill 1. It was released on the Wii. And honestly, that one, for it to be scary, I don't even know what they would have had to have done. But that would have been the big twist at the end, if it suddenly turned out to be scary. Because it wasn't. At all. Enough said. Now we're left with the last installment and latest installment of the Silent Hill series, and that is Silent Hill Downpour. Now, Silent Hill Downpour, it started kind of cool, had totally brutal intro and everything like that, but it's a fetch quest. That's all that game turned out to be. A fetch quest. I don't know what the huge plot twist at the end is. I don't care. I doubt it's very good, but wow, they just need to stop it. The music wasn't even good because they got rid of the normal music guy, or he just refused to do it, which if he did, good for him. But yeah, Silent Hill Downpour is the latest joke in the series, other than Shattered Memories. So the Silent Hill series really does need to stop. What they've been producing lately has not been good, it has not been any semblance of good, and it just needs to stop. Because until they stop and maybe burn that town down, I'm stuck in my own hell of seeing bad Silent Hill games released. And I'm sure there's several in there with me. Let's have a party. Thank you so much for watching and sitting through my little rant about Silent Hill. And if anybody brings up the movies, I'll scream. Really, I will, because I don't even talk about those. No. So, please leave a comment, tell me what you thought, like or dislike if you're a hater, but whatever, haters gonna hate, like with Silent Hill 4. And you can follow me on my Twitter, which I will leave in the description, and I will catch you guys next time.